of all the conversations that we have had for today. Remember, this is Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigerian FM. It's going to stay fine in community Ahoada East LG. Got on from a bit clear time. I've got them together. We will work and walk the show. Inko-Tariah.
Thank you very much, Kada.
All right. So quickly, let's start the recaps. Was saying this morning, the news did say that a relative to some 5 people killed by 2baba's and his gang in Orinyi community tells our correspondent at 92.3 Nigeria Info how the gang attacked the community at about 1 a.m. on Sunday. He said his 2 brothers and another man were killed at his compound. He said the gang members also said that the only condition to stop the case for the stories and some copy a victim's house. Let's take this to yesterday.
We are all in the room when we saw footsteps. Dog was barking until we woke up. Before we know it, one of my younger brothers came out and said, "Police, who are those people?" They said they want to kill everybody. If the people in the police custody, including the chiefs that is with them, and those of the sympathizers, that they are going to kill everybody. Before, my younger brother was trying to meet with him and show that my brothers. And they went also to that compound. They shot one person.
Another person in the community also spoke on the condition of anonymity and accused the security agents of not making any efforts to arrest 2baba's gang members. Let's take a listen. Where's that soundbite? I saw it not too long ago.
We are of
months back, a murder and a ransom was faced by the Rivers governor. Yet the police have not done anything to arrest 2baba's. Around 1 a.m. on Sunday morning, 2baba's came to the community and affairs. The governor where is he? We don't know what to do again. Where do we run to?
Now they're asking, where do we run to? I remember last Tuesday when you and I talked about it, some of our callers mentioned that 2baba's and his gang members are still walking around freely in the community. The reports seen on some of the pages of newspapers printed today mentioned the names of the people who weren't released by the police. Some of them chiefs, some of them gang members. They want them released, or else they'll continue to perpetrate crime in the community in that local government. However, the police has reacted and they have said that 2 of the suspected cultists or gang members who were involved in the killing of persons in that community were killed over the weekend. The statement said operatives of Ahoada police station received a distress call on Sunday morning that some suspected cultists loyal to wanted David Gift, also known as 2baba's, invaded Odiemerinyi community in search of suspected police informants. So there are so many talking points to this matter. 1, police being reactionary. 2, police informants being targeted. Will that not stall the case? And will this, yet again, like we asked last time, not fuel or inspire more people to go into crime and criminality, especially in that local government? Should we talk about the military coming in? Should it be vigilantism? Should it be amnesty? Some of these issues we will treat right now. So once again, I welcome my guest, Charles Inko-Tariah, who is a security expert. Once again, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So you've listened to the reports I read out on the show. Let's start. What are you thinking? Let's start with what you're thinking. What have you made out of what has developed since yesterday morning up until now?
Well, there is nothing much new to what has been happening prior to this time. But the worrying part of it is that it is pushing communities to a tight corner where communities will begin to resort to self-help on how to protect their environment. Like one of the last speakers said, where do we go to and what do we do? Now that they have confirmed that, or from body language, they've been able to confirm that the police have not been able to do anything, little or nothing, to help them out of the situation. In fact, police DPO was brutally killed, in the community. And to date, killers have not been arrested. Rather, the killers come out to still hit their targets and go away or abated. And these are body languages they are putting forward in order to put fear in communities. There is fear of hostility, fear of uncertainty. Some rural dwellers will be fleeing the areas and so on. But one thing I want you to know is that they are also highly inconvenienced where they are.
Okay.
And so they are making these moves in order to put threat and fear in the residents to enable them come out and interface where necessary and perhaps restock their consumables or one thing or the other. But definitely they are putting fear in the minds of the people.
All right.
They are also worried whether by coming to this action as well as message, to the government and to the security agents. Another angle to it is that it is also possible that other gangs could be doing this in order to take the matter on ground things for 2baba. Because, like the statement says, that gangs loyal to 2baba. They didn't say 2baba with his gangs.
No.
That's another.
That was basically because he was not in the midst of by the eyewitness report.
Yes.
He was not in the midst.
Yeah, from the eyewitness, the 2baba himself was not there.
Yeah.
But gangs suspected to be loyal to 2baba carried out this action and come up with these demands. So we just have to be very careful in looking at it properly, because remember there are other gangs within that territory.
Okay.
Operating also. So it is possible rival gang can come and carry out these actions and carry out these statements in order to put 2baba on a tight corner. Also, I am not saying that must have been what transpired, but I am just putting this
a conspiracy theory there.
Yeah, but whatever the option or whatever the reasons are and so on, police have failed. And to an extent, government needs to do something. Now, government supporting police. It's not that police fail because they are incapable. Police fail because they don't have domestic intelligence. There is no synergy, like I always push forward. If there is synergy and there is proper domestic intelligence, over 60 days or 90 days of killing of Bashir, and to date, in a landmass of 1,500 square kilometers, with all the relevant gadgets and the surveillance equipment that was donated by the government in the past to police, they have not been able to identify where 2baba is.
Now, can I come in now? Now, you've mentioned, the landmass and the landscape. You've also mentioned fear, the gang trying to put fear in the people. One, do you think the fear factor will not work? Because you've said intelligence and police is banking on community intelligence to be able to go about apprehending 2baba and his gang. Secondly, landscape, landmass. I spoke to someone last week, and she said she's a former police officer, and she says said that there is the riverine part that could be an hindrance to the police actualizing their dream or goal of arresting the suspect. What's your take on these two issues?
Yeah, like I was telling you that the landmass is 11,500 square kilometers.
Okay.
Our statistics shows that 60%, about 55% of it is water.
Oh, okay.
While another 45% is land where we use now. Now, the hindrance is on the waterways, and the criminals are capitalizing on that direction and in that direction. But like I said, deployment of technology can cover the entire landmass. In terms of patrol, in terms of search, in terms of several things that they can do, into it. Quite easy, to identify that it is the name to these 2baba. It's easy. It's something you can tell in less than 7 days. 7 days is even too much. what the facilities that are on ground, technology that is on ground, if they can deploy the use of technology, because Nigerian security system has been approached using more of military or fighting criminality, causing the casualties, and replacing the victims to violence.
Okay.
We are talking the world. Globally, everybody is looking at preventing insecurity and not fighting criminality, preventing criminality, locking up the chances and opportunity for crime is what the government and the security should channel all strength to. Because if you follow, hello?
I'm listening to you. If I follow,
if you follow military option, if you follow military option, fighting crime, criminality, you will be violent both on the side of the police, on the side of the criminals, and civilians, creating tension within the area, making the environment smell of hostility.
Now, can I ask you a question? I understand your use of technology and all, but I wonder if Nigeria is there yet, and I'm wondering where we are as it pertains to security and technology. Should we invite the military into this? Should we have jet fighters flying across or around, the forest like we see in fire-prone areas? Should we have?
Yes.
Okay, let's get your thoughts on that.
At this stage, to quench that 2baba issue, Ahoada local government should be declared state of emergency.
Okay.
Declared state of emergency in that area, because the government in that local area is not efficient. There is no proper community mobilization to that effect. People are now gradually resorting to self-help. There are many of them going to get us back. Next thing we hear, they will still go and get military vigilantes and so on. Creating those vigilantes and so on is indirectly creating more armed groups within the territory.
Okay.
That will create firearms and create tension within the area, smell of hostility here and there. So to avoid that, governments are forced to the primary action now. I think they should declare emergency. A situation where gangs can come in, kill 5 people, and they still threaten to kill more. And obviously, they will make do their threat. This is not the first time they threaten community in that area.
All right.
They have threatened communities to pay ransom, and that they will come at a particular date if they don't pay. And they come exactly as they promised and kill as much as they have promised to kill. Now again, they come again, kill at night again in another community, and threaten to come and kill more again. They will do more. So the earlier the government take a proper action, I will, on my personal thing, though I don't subscribe to military options or whatever, but they should declare state of emergency and let the military move in, and the Air Force move in to be able to come that community, the bush, the forest, and so on, and smoke this guy's house.
All right.
Before they create too much tension within the area.
All right.
All right. For a more lasting, solution, the government needs to come in. It is not about giving kilos to police.
Let me pause you now. Let me pause you.
Surveillance equipment.
Let me pause you, please. There is a commercial break. Apologies. When we come back from the break, I will get your thoughts and your opinions on other issues concerning this insecurity matter. All right. Thank you very much. the phone, and we have been talking. We took a break to go for commercials, and right now we are back. And if you're just joining us, you're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kala Dakurubatu, but we are looking at the report that emanated from Ahoada East local government area yesterday, talking about 5 people who were killed by gangs suspected to be loyal to 2baba's, or as he's called, General 2baba. And we're looking at it, and we were looking for solutions. And before we went on that break, we're talking about militarization. Could that be the solution? Having fighter jets flying across the areas that are riverine in nature and where the police cannot easily access. Could that solve the problem? He was also, my guest that is, talking about vigilantism, and he was saying that may not solve the problem. Vigilantes may not be the solution because that might be a problem in the future. However, I've still got the question of amnesty, because if you remember, part of the demands from the boys who went on a rampage on Sunday morning, they asked for the release from police custody of certain individuals. Welcome back, Mr. Charles Inko-Tariah. Welcome on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. So you were talking about militarization and how vigilantes may not be the solution. However, I'm looking at amnesty. We've used that as a tool before. Is that something you would advise, non-kinetic negotiations, so to say? Is that something that could work?
No, there's nothing like non-kinetic. So that aspect of amnesty is one of the major cracks we have in the fight against criminality in the Nigeria as a whole.
Okay.
Because you see, criminals are now being considered and patronized highly. Because the moment they do amnesty, the next stage you hear is that 2baba's has been giving all the oil pipelines in their area as a surveillance contractor to IOC and NNPC downstream, because they contract these boys. And these are part of the things we do to show their equity and their strength, to back in this business, because they're highly patronized. After this period, you will hear him, either he's been given the contract to run the pipeline surveillance in that area, or he's coming up to contest as a member of House of Assembly or one seat or the other, and they will vote for him, because they patronize criminals everywhere now. So the idea of amnesty, for me, it should be completely ruled out. And the criminal text for the government or the police or the security, what should be done. People they should release and so on. And the time past, they have been doing that out of fear. Because what they are doing is to instill fear as one of their strategies in the minds of the people, the government, and then the security at large, and then the entire society. But I tell you, these people are not spirits. They are taking advantage of the gap between the people, the community, and the security agents. Of course, they operated for some hours before even the police got the information and intercepted for that damage or whatever, But if the police had earlier information, if the police had a preemptive information, identify early warning signs and signals, it would be easier to nip it on the board, and to avoid, to reduce these casualties. The death rate we're saying is too much. On daily basis, you hear that so person killed this criminal killed that. The killing is too much. The space is just too open for these people to operate. And the security is not doing much, in as much as I don't blame them much, because they cannot do beyond what they are supposed to do. They don't have any domestic intelligence, and they don't have the strategy to have domestic intelligence. It behoves on the government of the state to take up a non-kinetic platform for the state-owned platform that will be able to fight this insecurity within the territory and come up with homegrown measures that will close the gap between the people and the security to have a synergy on information sharing.
sorry, Charles. Talking about information sharing now, we've just been told that the people who were targeted were people believed to be police informants. Do you think people will still want to share information or intelligence with the police? That's one.
Yes, but nobody, no normal man want to share information with the present state of relationship between the police and the security. But if the state come up with a non-kinetic platform, the platform will be able to manage individual information and accelerate information concealing the identity of the person. You understand? We have networks, we have platforms, we have...
Hello, are you there? The network has been terrible all day.
Facilities into that environment and still get the reaction or the action that is needed without you knowing who uploads the information. We have a lot of facilities like that will be able to protect the citizens in sharing information. But with this local method of informant, it is done by the British government because they don't know people within the community, so they identify key persons to give them information. But in this case now, we've gone past that level. It's analog and obsolete for you to go on this local informant system. You endanger the life of the informant, and which is what is playing out right now. But with this state holistic platform now, there are facilities and platforms that will manage such information without the identity of the informant. And then they have facilities, back-end users and operators of those information gadgets and technology who will be able to manage the escalation of any incidental matters to the relevant security operations with the closer to that scene. And also monitor response time, monitor lapses, and escalate it where necessary for subsequent purposes. So these are things, it is not skyrocket, it is not spirit, it's something that is doable. And the good part of it is that River State government in 2018 have a law to promote such local. In that law, escalate expunge areas that are inimical to the society, areas that are raising eyebrows should be removed in the law and make it pure non-kinetic operation. And you will see these people, the way they will catch them like flies. They will catch them like flies.
Mr. Inko-Tariah.
Because the police, yes?
I'm out of time, but I want to throw one final question at you. And that question has got to do with proactiveness. You mentioned it. You said the police were reactionary, and I agree. Given the tools, because you also mentioned that the police don't have enough tools to work with. Given the tools at the disposal of the police, in Vivid State most especially, how proactive do you think the police can be? Or, how should they, begin to be proactive, so to say? Especially in this 2baba's case.
Yeah, to be proactive, the platform I'm looking at is not police. Police should continue with that. Arms, their bearing of arms, their fighting crime and criminality. But the proactive intelligence platform should be owned and managed by the state government in synergy with the police.
Okay.
Because if the state government come up with, like, for instance, we have the surveillance equipment that was donated to them sometime last year or year before last. If that facility is managed and manned by citizens and providing the backup to police, because if you go now, you find out that most of the facilities they are not in use. How many police officers are ICT compliant? How many of the police officers you see that are ICT compliant? Have you checked their training curriculum in their training school? If there's anything ICT inside it, that's nothing. So depending on them, modern technology cannot be any productive. But the state can use it to run their own non-kinetic state platform and create the backup for police to operate neatly. Otherwise, that kind of homegrown local platform would have been able to identify where 2baba's is as of now. It's insulting and embarrassing to a state as big as River State, over 6.5 million persons, 2, 3, 4, 5 miscreants will hold the entire community to ransom, come and kill and go. It's not acceptable. So the earlier the government stand up to this reality, stop looking in security scholars to make presentation on the best way out. The Nigerian police are only trained to fight crime. They don't have the technology for preventing crime. So the government need to come in at this point, not by donating e-logs to police. When you donate these e-logs to police, in the next week, some of the e-logs will be in the north, some of will be in Lagos, serving other senior officers and so on, and their wives. And it's not being put to use here.
All right.
So we need our state structure that will be able to man the activities, the contribution of the state, see the deployment, and see the efficiency of this contribution.
I'm sorry, Ms. Inko-Tariah, time is fast spent. I would have to look for bearing your thoughts on the show. All right. Do have yourself a wonderful evening. For those of you listening, remember the open season will come immediately after the news bulletin at 6. But for now, another commercial break. Apologies for the many commercial breaks, but it's necessary as well. Stay tuned. I am Kala Dakarubatabo. Good afternoon. Do stay tuned. I'll be right back.